Hi there. Let's see if Mara, or Marathon Digital Holdings, can be the next Bitcoin mining giant. As you can see, the stock price has more than doubled in the last 5 years. But it has declined by over 80% from its peak. And now the market cap is around 1.8 billion. As you know, this is a Bitcoin mining company. It all depends on the price of Bitcoin. If it goes up, Mara makes more money. Plus, they also have a small market share, around 6%. And if they grow more in the future, then this company may become profitable. Because if you look at their current profits, you can see that their earnings are with minus. For instance, for 2022, they had a loss of over 600 million, and the revenue was about 100 million. It has increased in the past from 1 million to over 100 million, but still they had a lot of losses. However, the analyst expects the revenue to grow even more in the future. As this is a mining company and they invest more in infrastructure, the revenue will increase. Plus, if Bitcoin keeps going up, let's say the price of Bitcoin doubles or even more, then Mara will benefit a lot. But as you can see, the analysts expect no profits in the future. Only in 2026, they expect a profit of around 6 million. So that won't be enough to justify the current market cap, which is around 1.8 billion. Now, let's see more. If you look at their latest results, you can see that the production of Bitcoin has increased a lot. Quarter over quarter, they had a growth rate over 300%. And if you compare quarter by quarter, for instance Q2 to Q1, the growth rate was over 30%. So that's amazing. They are currently producing around 40 Bitcoins a day. So that's a good improvement compared to the last year, when they made around 8 Bitcoins a day. So their production has increased a lot. As you can see, in the second quarter they produced about 3000 Bitcoin, which represents about 3.3% of the Bitcoin network rewards. This is their market share, and if they double it, they will make even more money. They currently have some cash on hand, around 100 million, and over 12,000 Bitcoin with a market value of about 380 million. So in total their cash will be around 500 million. Don't forget they also have some debt, which is over 700 million. Now they keep improving their production. For instance, in September, their production has increased by 16% from the last month, and over 200% from the last year. So their growth rate is quite high, and their market share was around 4.3% in September. So an increase from the last month when they had 3.7% market share. It looks like they keep growing. In addition, they plan to expand internationally, to open new locations with low-cost renewable energy. Maybe you know that there were many news that said Bitcoin is bad for the environment. It takes a lot of energy for mining Bitcoin. But as you can see, they're planning to focus on low-cost renewable energy. I don't know how they'll do that, because the cost of renewable energy is quite high at the moment. Maybe they have new ways of reducing that cost. Now, as you've seen, this company keeps growing, they have more opportunities ahead, and if the price of Bitcoin keeps going up, then Mara will benefit a lot. Now, before investing, you also have to focus on the risk, which is the most important. As you can see, they currently are making no profits. For instance, for the last quarter, they made 81 million in revenue, but the costs were higher, and their loss was over 16 million. As you can see, their cost of energy, hosting and others are quite high. Plus, you add depreciation, because those equipments that are used for mining Bitcoin, they get old and they have to be changed. Plus, they also have to pay wages. As you can see, their general and administrative expenses has doubled, from 10 million to over 20 million. So even though they keep expanding their business to open new locations, their costs will be quite high, because they have to pay for the energy, for those locations, and other expenses. Another bad thing about this company, and you have to be aware of it, is dilution. You can easily see that the number of shares were around 8 million in 2020, and now the number of shares is over 150 million. So this is a huge increase. And this is called dilution. That's why the stock price has declined so much from its peak, over 80%. And this dilution will continue. Because as they don't have any profits, they're making no money, they have to issue more shares to fund their operations. They already said that their focus is on growth, so they will sacrifice shareholders for their future growth. And if you invest right now, you can have that risk of dilution. That's why you have to track the number of shares, because the more shares they issue, the more you lose in value. Moreover, there is also competition. As you can see, there are other companies that mine for Bitcoin. For instance, Riot Blockchain, Bitfarms, Core Scientific, and Hut 8 Mining. Mara has currently a market share about 7% of the global Bitcoin mining. In the first place is Riot Blockchain. And you have to be aware that all these companies are depending on the price of Bitcoin. If it goes up, then they will do well. They will make more money, and maybe they may become profitable. But if the price of Bitcoin goes down, for instance a decline of over 50%, the price of Bitcoin may go to 5,000, then all these companies will suffer, and their prices will go down. That's why you have to be aware of this risk. If you choose to invest in a Bitcoin mining company, you invest in Bitcoin. And if it does well, then your investment may do well. If not, you know the answer. So to sum up, Mara seems that it has a lot of opportunities ahead. They are planning to open new locations and expand their business, and their production keeps going up, but you have to be aware of the risk, especially future possible dilution. They may not become profitable, their expenses will increase with their expansion, and the price of Bitcoin. If it goes down, then Mara will go down. If it goes up, Mara may make some money and become profitable. So it's up to you if you want to take this risk. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments.